Hello friends and welcome back to the kennels. Same deal as last time, I'm afraid. If you didn't watch the last episode, this episode and the last episode, I had no external audio recorded because my mic settings were messed up, so I'm commentating on this after the fact. This is what you're seeing right now is a video in VLC, which is obviously not ideal. I do apologise. But it is what it is, and you know, I contemplated throwing the episodes away, but I was like, no, they're good episodes, man. The last episode did our first veteran dungeon. This episode, well, you'll see it. It's fine. They're episodes I didn't want to throw away. Is basically what I'm getting at. If you want to skip it, that's fine. I know a lot of people don't like audio added on after the fact. To be honest, I don't. I don't really enjoy watching it. I really didn't want to have to make it, but it is what it is, and we'll have to get on with it. So if you want to skip ahead to the next episode, we'll have a short recap at the beginning of the next episode, if I remember, which I should do because I'll be recording it in like half an hour. So anyway, there is a great trinket on offer here, and I've just noticed it. It's the collar. It's the collar, dude. Look at the collar. It's the collar. We want the collar. And the inchoate flesh is maybe the easiest boss for a Houndmaster team. The Houndmaster has an awesome skill. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's called Hound's Harry. It's one of my favourite skills, and it just destroys the flesh. So at this point, I'm not too worried about fighting the flesh. I mean, at this point in the past, when I was actually playing the game, which I'm not currently, for the reasons that we've been over. So yeah. We're going to be killing the flesh. We're going to hopefully get that trinket, the spiked collar. No spoilers at all. But the spiked collar is awesome. If you didn't see, it gives you a damage boost and a bleed skill chance boost. It does lower your healing received, but that's not a huge problem for the Houndmaster. So it's a great opportunity to kill an easy boss, get a decent trinket. Let's see how it goes. It's kind of cool watching this after the fact. I touched on this in the last episode, maybe 2 or 3 times even. But it's kind of cool to watch myself having played this in the past. English fucking tense confusion. But it's interesting to watch my choices from almost an outsider's point of view. I know I only recorded these maybe like 24 hours ago. But at the same time, it's kind of nice to see it and to kind of look at my choices in a vacuum, the same way that you would watching it and not having played it. It's difficult to necessarily see what you're doing and what you're doing wrong in the moment, and it's much easier to see it if you record your gameplay. It's why if you're learning a new skill, one of the most common pieces of advice you'll get, and it's any skill from Let's Plays or video games in general to writing or playing music or art or anything like that, or sport, is to record yourself and watch yourself later, so you can look at it from the outside and say, oh yeah, I could definitely have done something different there. I could have, I could have played that completely differently, and maybe it would have been better. So maybe it's kind of a mixed blessing that my audio messed up and I had to record it this way. I hope so. I hope I can come into the next episode and be like, you know what, I noticed that I'm a total fuck up, and this is how I fix it. Somehow I doubt it, but we'll see. I know I have the Eldritch trinket there in the top right. Great trinket for anything Eldritch. I couldn't remember, and in fact I still can't remember if the flesh is Eldritch. It makes sense for it to be, but I can't remember off the top of my head, so that's why I didn't take that trinket, if you're wondering. And I'm looking at it here as well, in the past, and being like, should I take the Eldritch bonus? I can't remember if it's Eldritch. I don't want to look it up, because that's like, apart from anything else, I'm making a video here, you know what I mean? But I decided to play it safe and just go with the damage. Honestly, I was not worried at this point about actually killing the flesh itself, because the flesh is real easy, even with 1 Houndmaster in your party, let alone 4. Just changing the skills around a little bit. I went over my strategy for skills in the last episode, that I kind of came up with a game plan for lower level dungeons, which I'll basically use until it falls apart, and then I'll stop. I'll probably go over most of it again in the next episode, because I know a lot of people are going to skip these 2 episodes. It's understandable, it's reasonable, to be honest. If it was me, and I shouldn't be saying this, I would probably skip them. Not that they're bad episodes necessarily, but, you know, you want to hear what someone's thinking and going through in the moment, rather than afterwards. Look at me alienating my viewer base. I'm such an amateur. Never mind. I actually have in front of me a list of skills written on receipt paper. I work as a cashier in a grocery store, and obviously I had a bit of a slow day on Saturday, considering it was a Saturday. It's very slow. So I got some receipt paper and just kind of like wrote down loads of notes on it. So I both in the past and present, I'm looking at these notes and trying to make sense of them, and talking about them to a camera. Ultimately, you know, futilely. Is futilely a word? You know what I mean. Anyway, with futility. Oh my word. Oh, I remember the survivalist existed, which is, you know, fantastic. Yeah, they all had pep talk. So camping would have been awful if I didn't unlock Encourage and Wound Care. Of course, I did forget to equip Encourage and Wound Care, but you know, you get what you pay for, I suppose. I'm still an idiot at the end of the day. I'm still your resident British idiot. I'm aware that on the internet, and particularly on YouTube, in fact, you kind of like assumed American until proven otherwise, and that is on. It goes for pretty much everywhere where people don't know you personally. Obviously, on Facebook, pretty much everyone knows I'm British, and it's not really a problem because they're all British as well. We're all British together, and we all have British friends and British interests and British accents. But on a lot of places, like on Reddit, you're kind of assumed to be like a straight white American male until proven otherwise. It's, you know, it's not necessarily trying to make a political statement, but that is definitely true for the most part. I kind of I don't know. It's kind of weird, like. Going on YouTube and being like, "Hi, I'm definitely British," because like it's real obvious, right? I don't know. I kind of feel like I'll let Wayne lunchtime talk.
Summoning rites had begun to ebb, as each attempt invariably brought only failure and disappointment. Progress was halting, and the rapidly accumulating surplus of wasted flesh had become burdensome.
I love that artwork in the background. That sounds really good. I only really noticed that just now. Sorry, I was going on a long rant about national identity. But, you know, the upshot is just a kind of it's kind of weird, like I don't know. Ah, secret room.
Sinew and bone.
There's a secret room down there. Go to the secret. This is not rocket science. Go to the secret room. It's the one with the gold star, bro. Yeah, that's the boss. That's the boss right there, yes. No, that's fine. Yeah, you're there. No, yeah, yes, that's correct. You go to the secret room.
Such blockages are unsurprising.
Yeah.
These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
It's fine. Just to clarify, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing that that. What am I trying to say? I don't necessarily feel like people are going to take me less seriously because I'm British. In fact, a lot of Americans seem to have a weird thing for British accents, which I don't understand at all. But I think it's more the fact that, you know, if you okay, so I'm British and I hear British accents all day, every day. If I go home and I turn the TV on, I'm just channel flicking and I see like an episode of Friends on, I'm like, awesome. Like, Friends is okay. I'm all for it. I'm not ashamed to say that I like Friends. It's a great show. Paved the way for modern comedy. However, if I'm watching an episode of like, I don't know, like season 4 or 5, and everyone's got American accents, and then like Ross's girlfriend Emily comes on, I'm like, her accent sounds real weird. Sounds really, really weird. It's a slightly posh, like South England accent that I can't quite place in my head right now. But it sounds so out of place because it's among all of these American accents, which in themselves are quite varied.
Or is it merely a trick of the light?
I don't really know what I'm trying to say here. I'm just going off on a tangent because I can. I don't have to think about gameplay. You probably want to take the food. Yeah, I would take the food. Go to the secret room. Don't step on the trap. That's correct, yes. I don't think, and this is probably a really like newbie thing to say, one way or the other, whether I'm right or wrong. Stump the trees, dude. is that I don't think traps have an innate like difficulty modifier, if that makes sense. They don't like have like a trap disarm resist, which means that you might still fail a resist or might still fail a disarm even if you have like 100% trap disarm. I don't think that's the case. I think that 100% means 100%. I think that 80% means 80% when it comes to trap disarm, but I could be wrong about that. If anyone knows, I'd like to hear it because I care about it, but I don't care enough to look it up. That's incorrect, by the way. Yeah. He's just realised, yeah, we go back the way we came and it doesn't count as backtracking. Sick. Anyway, what am I saying? Yeah, with the trap disarm thing. Like, for example, I don't need to give you an example, you're a smart dude, you know what I'm trying to say. One of the things I like most about the Houndmaster is the trap disarm. It's so good for stress relief. Bandages? You got bandages, bro? No, you threw them away. You threw them away to take Dismas' head. That's what you get. Alright then. Any herbs? I don't think so. No herbs. Never mind.
We require only the strength to follow it.
I love the atmosphere in this game, man. It's beautiful. Have you seen, because I'm recording this, maybe you're watching this in the distant future of like June, but I'm recording this in March 2017, and the Darkest Dungeon community is all like really hyped for the new DLC that's going to be coming out, the Crimson Court. We don't know when it's coming out. It's coming out sometime in the next couple of months, I think. But it's awesome, and the artwork looks fantastic. I was worried that they might kind of diversify the artwork and come away from this weirdly like minimalistic yet detailed art style, which someone who knows more about art than I do, fucking beautiful by the way, might be able to you know, tell me I'm wrong there. But I was really happy to see the new art style. It looks absolutely awesome, and I'm so hyped for it because the atmosphere of this game is so good. It's like it really makes the game. I'm not saying that the gameplay of the game is bad, because obviously it isn't. The art itself wouldn't necessarily be enough to keep people hooked for months and years, and a lot of the Darkest Dungeon community have been playing since it was in open access, myself included, actually. But I mean, I think that the game would be sizably worse with the art being bad. I think the artwork kind of hooks people straight away, and kind of gets them to go through what is quite a fairly unforgiving process of learning the game, like the tutorial. A lot of people, their first time through the game, actually fail the tutorial. A sizable, a non-zero proportion of people actually just die on the tutorial, which is, of course, awful. But I think that a lot of people would be less hooked on the game if it weren't for the art style. And of course the music as well is a big part of that. The Hamlet music is awesome, the camping music is awesome. You just kind of, you find it going through your head at various times of day, even when you haven't played Darkest Dungeon in days. Or at least I do, I guess. I can't speak for you. But yeah, it's awesome. I love the fact, by the way, and I'm only noticing this now because it's symmetrical here. You probably can't see it now. But none of my group were looking at each other. I really like that. Like, the guys on the left were all like looking to the left away from the guys on the right, and you know, the people on the same side weren't even looking at the people on the same side. And I really like that because it kind of drives home the fact that these are just like broken, desperate people who don't trust each other, but have no choice. I really like that. Maybe it's better or probably less noticeable with 4 different classes. But it's just little touches like that that show that the characters you're controlling are just like incredibly mistrustful of each other, because they don't necessarily like each other, but they have no choice but to work together because they have a common goal. I love stuff like that, especially in this game. Hounds Harry, by the way, this fight you just Hounds Harry every turn. It's ridiculous. It's genuinely ridiculous, because as soon as because they have a shared health bar, they all take full bleed damage every time one of them takes an action. They have 1 health bar, but effectively they bleed 4 times as much because there are 4 parts of that 1 health bar, and every part bleeds. So you just Hounds Harry and you get 4 times the bleed damage that you normally would, and it just their health just burns down. It's incredible. I mentioned in the last episode, I was mistaken, as it turns out, in the last episode when I said that I thought I'd done 2 dungeons in the last episode. It's actually this episode, because I got the flesh down like straight away, pretty much. Got back and I was like, well, we're only like 17 minutes in, might as well do another dungeon. So that's what I was thinking of in the last episode when I said that I'd done 2 dungeons. That it is not really important, you know what I'm trying to get at here. Yeah, I mean, the art style of the flesh, for example, is just phenomenal. I can't fault the art in this game. I'm a bit of a fanboy, but there we are. The flesh is down.
As it was in life.
Awesome.
Seize this momentum.
So I got the spiked collar, which is ridiculously good. Only need another. Sorry. Excuse me. I'm drinking ale right now, which probably explains why I'm kind of lost the ability to talk, because it kind of like gums my mouth up, you know? It's nice there. But at the same time, what was I trying to say? Oh, bad humors is awful. Yeah, I need another 3 spiked collars, which is kind of a big ask, but we'll get them eventually. We'll get them eventually. And this is me trying to work out why that cost 1,031 gold, which seems like a strange number, but it is what it is. Do we do another short dungeon? Do we do a short dungeon? I think we do a short dungeon. Yeah, okay, let's get on with it, boys. Time is money, friend. Time is money, friend. Yeah, just a short dungeon in the ruins. I think I end up just trying to face roll through this and losing horribly. Spoilers. I mean, not losing, but not doing as well as maybe I should. We've burned through gold in the last couple of episodes. I will say that much. I said in the last episode, with a surprising and quite and kind of a lack of foresight and hindsight, that stress relief was going to be the biggest drain on gold in the early game. Perhaps not, actually. Perhaps it is just, you know, your good old-fashioned upgrades that drain the gold for you there. Musicross's disease is rabies. I don't know if you were wondering that earlier. I did mention it in the first time I recorded audio for this, which ultimately didn't work, of course, which is why I'm recording it again, because that's how things work. Musicross has rabies, which is the best disease by a long way. You actually want rabies more often than not on a damage dealer, because it's just really good. The Houndmaster is my favourite character, and it has been my favourite class for a long time. Maybe superseded in recent months by the Grave Robber, but I'm kind of missing certain classes. I'm kind of missing the Vestal with her Divine Comfort, which is obviously great. I'm missing healing in general. I don't see as many green numbers as I would like, but it's I just want to sign up for, you know. I've still got my Tortureless run on the go, which is not on YouTube, but it's something I'm doing occasionally in my spare time. But most of my Darkest Dungeon time now is spent on the Houndmaster estate, on the kennels, so I'm really enjoying it. But I do miss being able to heal, like, ever. It's really good. And yeah, my goal has been cut in half now. We're down from 100k to 48k. But that's fine. As I mentioned in the last episode, I'm not necessarily above sending out some level 3s and 4s into small, or not small, into low-level dungeons just to grab some gold. Obviously, I can't grab the Antiquarian because, well, obviously. See, I'm going to miss out that top room on the right. That's not going to be a room that I go to. Here, I think is what I decided. It seems like the obvious choice because it doesn't involve backtracking. Missing out any of the other rooms obviously would involve backtracking. Okay, 1,000 Gil says that I don't use the dog treats in this episode. Can't remember whether I do or not. Just a fight, bro. Yeah, it's fine. Easiest fight of your life, and I bet you're going to use dog treats. If you use them ever, you'll probably use them now while you're thinking about it, right? There really is no need, though. 3 Hounds rushes should take care of it. Great, yeah. Blackjack, sick.
Back to the pit.
Awesome.
Remind yourself.
Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys.
And insidious killer.
Oh, I did it again. I only just noticed that. I didn't notice that the first time through. There was no need for me to light the torch just before getting some loot. If you know you're going to get loot, you keep the torch as low as possible, right? Come on, Rob. This is a challenge run. We've got to take the training wheels off, you know, or stabilizers as we call them over here. Can't just not think about these things. It's a trap! It's a trap! Okay. I was worried. I was genuinely worried that past me had stepped on that trap, and I was going to draw the ire of YouTube's comment section, but perhaps not. This is an annoying setup for a Houndmaster run. Obviously, you've got Hound's Rush to deal with the back line. It's not like it's an all-leper run, which would just be awful. Luckily, I was able to kill the courier, not the courier, the courtier in one hit. Courier. I've been playing too much Hearthstone, that's what it is. It's not a cultist courtier, it's a cabal courier. That's what that means. No, you don't Hounds Harry here, come on. Be a grown-up, be a grown-up. Thank you. Still wasn't amazing, but... No, you maybe Hounds Harry? Hounds Harry? No, there's no point using 2 Hounds Harrys. May as well use 1 Hounds Rush or 2 Hounds Rushes, I suppose. Okay, yeah, great. Bet you feel real smart now, don't you?
Confidence surges.
Oh, wow. Rob, just stop, man. Well, now you Hounds Harry, yeah, okay. That Hounds Harry was the right call the 3rd time, and the wrong call the first 2 times, I think. Feel free to tell me I'm full of shit in the comments section. I mean, I don't mind if I deserve it, you know?
Their formation is
Awesome. Now, don't use your last key here. I don't remember whether I did or not. I think I probably did not, but it seems also like something that I might have done. Just open it. Don't use a key, just open it. Yeah, okay, yeah. No, past me was... I mean, at least as smart as present me, which is not that surprising considering it was literally 24 hours ago. I have to say, I was surprised here to see the Madman in rank 2 and the Courtier in rank 3. With the Arbalist in rank 4, because you don't see this very often. The Madman kind of seems to crop up in random groups. He's not part of any established groups, I don't think. But he tends to crop up replacing just random enemies. So it was interesting to see the Madman in rank 2 here, because he usually tends to spawn near the back, but I suppose if he didn't, maybe his, you know, whatever code that sends him to the back or allows him to spawn in at the back, what am I trying to say, it prioritizes the other 2 backline fighters over him, and he ends up being pushed up to rank 2. I don't know. There's some really good hits going on here, and I haven't used the treats yet.
Continue the onslaught.
I think I used 2 treats there, actually. I wasn't really looking, if I'm honest. Wasn't really paying a huge amount of attention. Sorry about that. You can feel free to deal with it if you like. It's up to you. I don't mind. It's up to you. So I was surprised to run into a fight here because I didn't realise that corridor hadn't been scouted. Because the rooms to either side of it had been scouted, I assumed that the corridor had been scouted as well, but they were actually scouted from 2 different directions. And neither of those two scouts discover the corridor, so I was surprised to run into a fight here, if I'm honest. But you know what? I think it went okay. Spoilers. I think it went fine. You don't Hounds Harry then. No, you Hounds rush the back. Yeah, that's correct. The madman's going to die anyway. Don't worry about it. Hounds rush. Oh, he can't Hounds rush. Yeah, Hounds Harry then. Sorted. No, no, no. Oh. Did it do it? I didn't even check the bleed. What am I trying to do here? What am I trying to achieve here? Please. What's going on here? What am I doing? What am I doing? That seems I don't know why I did that. Just randomly open the stat screen. I wish I knew if I could go back in time. If I could turn back time and ask myself why I did that, and maybe I would like to give you an answer, but I can't, I'm afraid. Just kill it. Just kill it, bro. Just kill it. Has that killed it? I think that has killed it, yeah. Awesome.
Death by inches. Success so clearly in view.
So there'll probably be only a couple more, I've done it again. You don't stoke the torch before you get some loot, Robert. This is just common sense. We'll learn. We'll learn. I think challenge runs are all about learning about the game, you know? I think one of the best ways to get better at a game is to do a challenge run of it. Even if it's, because I've done several Final Fantasy X challenge runs. And to be honest, when I started doing those challenge runs, I'd beaten the game like 3 or 4 times, but honestly I was kind of an idiot with it. And I still didn't really know what was going on. Gameplay-wise, or how to get the most out of my characters, because you just don't need to get through the game. You don't need to be very good. It's a very story-focused game. But does have some reasonably deep combat elements that I just didn't understand because I didn't need to. So if you want to get better, you've got to test yourself, you know, you've got to challenge yourself a little bit. And I think that goes for this game as well. But it looks like we're going to get through this without any more battles. We're going to finish 4 out of 4, relatively low stress. Not quite as low as I would have liked, but there we are.
The shifted corridors and sloped walls of our ancestry are beginning to feel familiar.
I think I was worried about the time here, even though I really didn't need to be, and I was just trying to get through it as quickly as possible. Plotter is awesome, by the way. That's a really good set of quirks to get. Even the bad quirks aren't that bad for the most part. So yeah, I was pretty happy with how that went.
Can you feel it? The walls between the sane world and that unplumbed dimension of delirium are tenuously thin here.
Oh, Wayne Midnight, you are just... You make my ovaries sing. And that's all I have to say about that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next episode with some actually well-recorded content recorded at the time. Oh, see you later.